A very good day to you. I'm Hank Gross, MidHudsonNews.com. It's Monday, June 3rd. Police in the city of Poughkeepsie are looking for the killer of a 55-year-old Poughkeepsie man who was found shot in the parking lot of the area of 472 Main Street at around 10:10 p.m. Saturday. The victim of the shooting near the Kennedy Fried Chicken was transported to Mid-Hudson Regional Hospital, where he later died. Anyone with information is asked to call City of Poughkeepsie Police at 845-451-7544. Amscan Incorporated, a manufacturer of party goods, will be closing its Route 17K Town of Newburgh Center. The company informed the State Department of Labor of its planned closure, citing economic reasons. The company, commonly known as Kookaburra, headquartered in Woodcliff, New Jersey, said all 117 employees would be affected. They are not represented by a union. Amscan will begin its closure on August 30th and conclude on November 29th, the company informed the state. Frito-Lay, meanwhile, will be laying off 88 of its 305 employees at its facility at 79 Industrial Place in Middletown. The workers were not represented by a union. The layoff is to start on August 30th and conclude on September 13th. Genpack, the Middletown company that manufactures polystyrene food service containers, is shutting down with the closure expected by August, impacting all 138 employees. The workers are represented by the International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers, AFL-CIO. The news today brought to you by the Galleria at Crystal Run. Local 2189. The plant had operated for over 50 years, but is closing largely influenced by polystyrene packaging bans in New York and neighboring states. In 2020, New York announced the expanded polystyrene foam container and polystyrene loose fill ban, which bans the use and sale of single-use polystyrene food service containers. Genpack is committed to supporting the affected employees throughout the transition, said Jeffrey Hebert, the Genpack president. He says they'll collaborate with local businesses and policeman services to help find new employment opportunities. The time clocks ordered by the Village of Monticello to keep a closer watch on employee hours are on order and should be in within weeks. They were the idea of Mayor Rochelle Massey.
It's called accountability.
An independent audit of the village said some employees were taking inordinate amounts of time for lunch and not accounting for time in the office. The village board approved the purchase of the time clocks several weeks ago. More news right after this.
Find over 100 retailers allowing you to spend hours shopping safely at the Galleria at Crystal Run. Enjoy the big brands and the diverse selection of family-owned stores all in one location. The Galleria at Crystal Run offers dining options for everyone with Fuji 110 Grill, Allen's Mediterranean Grill, and Peru Cuisine. Discover the Mid-Hudson Valley's premier shopping, dining, and entertainment destination, the Galleria at Crystal Run. For more information, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, or visit GalleriaCrystalRun.com.
In the wake of the recent major drug and gun bust, Newburgh's new police chief, Brandon Rolla, says the city is making inroads on crime, and he says the city's economy is coming back to show for it. The chief says with the cooperation and joint efforts of their law enforcement partners, they're making a dent in crime.
Our city's thriving more and more each year, and the crime numbers are going down. It's a collaboration of the City of Newburgh officers, the resiliency of the elected officials, and all our partner agencies working together to continue to really revitalize the City of Newburgh, and we see it every day for sure.
More and more new businesses are cropping up along Broadway, bringing more shoppers into the city. The state has enacted a number of anti-retail theft measures in the recently adopted budget, and they're aimed at reducing the rising instances of shoplifting. Senator James Skoufis outlined those measures while at the Galleria at Crystal Run in the town of Wallkill.
We as state government have to make sure that law enforcement is provided the tools to make sure that establishments like the Galleria Mall can be kept safe and that the individuals who look to undermine that safety are held accountable. And the state budget, I'm glad to say, this year did just that.
Town Police Chief Robert Hertman said organized theft in Wallkill has risen 46% year over year, and the town could use all the tools available to it to lower that number. Dozens lined along Route 211 in the shopping center district of the town of Wallkill yesterday as they protested the Israel-Hamas war. They called for a ceasefire and urged the Middletown Common Council to adopt a ceasefire resolution. Middletown resident Jason Neisman, who organized the protest, said he did not minimize the brutal attack on October 7th by Hamas on Israel.
What happened to them was definitely horrific, and the suffering of innocent lives is tragic, like no matter where it happens. But we're trying to call attention to, a larger scale disaster that's occurring.
Neisman said if the cities of Beacon and Newburgh could call for a ceasefire, Middletown can do the same. The date has been set for the civil service test for Director of School Safety and Security for the Newburgh School District. It will be administered on July 13th, with the last date to file to take the test on June 17th. The test was posted online on last Friday. Former Newburgh City Police Chief Anthony Gerasi has been appointed as the Provisional Safety Director for the school district, pending his passing the test and placing within the top 3 to score on it. He was appointed by the school district at a special April 26th session to start on May 6th at an annual salary of $175,000. I'm Hank Gross, MidHudsonNews.com. The news today brought to you by the Galleria at Crystal Run.